Now it's my pleasure to introduce to you our next speaker. He has long been a technical consultant in the areas of transparency and accountability, public and development management, project and performance management, e-governance, local governance, civil society organizations, and productivity education and training. Now he has a lot of achievements under his belt, and he is very much experienced in the field that he will be talking about. Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the director of the iBoP Asia program, Dr. Segundo J.E. Romero.
Thank you, Deacon. Good morning. Good morning to our guests who flew in from the U.S., Benji De La Peña and Sue Zielinski. Government officials in the audience, we know we're pulling you from your jobs, but hopefully you consider this part of your job. And friends, stakeholders in new mobility. Okay, I'm going to introduce the iBoP program. iBoP means innovations at the base of the pyramid. And of course, we always hear about the base of the pyramid. We have our share of the base of the pyramid, but with your kind indulgence, I'll move here because I cannot see my slides. Okay, so basically we're saying that everybody's concerned about the base of the pyramid. We have our share, but basically it says worldwide we have 4 billion people at the base, survival market, emerging markets, and only a very small percentage with mature markets. But here you're talking about individual incomes of less than 1,500 US dollars. And this is a reality. There will always be a base of the pyramid, but we can certainly try to reduce it and maybe make it more of a narrower pyramid, and perhaps also make it look like a diamond, right? And two concepts. It is a socio-economic designation for the 4 to 5 billion individuals that live primarily in developing countries and whose annual per capita incomes fall below 1,500 in PPP terms, purchasing power parity terms. An emerging field of business strategy that focuses on products, services, and enterprises to serve people throughout the base of the world's income pyramid. And we chose to use the term base rather than bottom because bottom looks too stark. Okay. And of course, we have the middle of the pyramid, 3,000 to 10,000 dollars in annual income, and we also have the top or the top of the pyramid, about $10,000 per year. And we have them. We have the BOP even in the US, right? I mean, there are poor people in the US as well. And some of the middle income people in some of the poorer countries are also part of the base of the pyramid. Okay. And here we have a few more data and facts. It's a $5 trillion, 4 billion person market with significant unmet needs. I would like to just call you to the last part that says low income does not mean no income. Okay? Together they have substantial purchasing power and represent a 5 trillion global consumer market, suggesting a range of opportunities for market-based approaches to better meet their needs and empower their entry into the formal economy. And what we're trying to do is to try to come up with the business models. Even in this particular project that we're launching today, we're looking for ways by which we can put together social enterprises, even public social enterprises that will meet the needs of the poor and the vulnerable. And in this project, this program, which started in 2007, Dean Lavinia was the first director, And so he initiated this project. And we would also like to look at this particular project as an innovation in itself. I mean, when you look at the kinds of institutions that you have, like ASO, within universities, that try to bring together various disciplines, put them together in project teams, and deploy them to engage communities. That is a unique way of engaging the BOP, at least in the Philippines. And many of our universities do not yet do that. So we have government, private sector, and government and international sector stakeholders. We try to engage the poor and vulnerable in Southeast Asia. We are doing this project in New Mobility in Manila, but our iBoP program really is for Southeast Asia. And when we discuss the other project, the universities and networks for innovations for inclusive development, which Grace will be presenting later on, you will see that we have partner universities in Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, and that we would like to move on to Cambodia as well. And our concern is basically that Southeast Asia seems to be a very dynamic country. We're moving towards greater regional integration. For a time, we thought that EU is a good model. We're still moving towards that. And there is increased innovation capacity in Singapore, Malaysia, and Thailand, which drive their economic growth. But innovation policy in Southeast Asia is more focused on economic and industrial development, and less on poverty alleviation and inclusive development. It's just about the country moving forward, growth, and so on. As economic growth increases, inequality also increases, and the poor and vulnerable suffer unequal access to resources, basic services, employment opportunities. In this case, we're talking about transport services and facilities. Okay? But that's just one of the major needs of our people. And we are saying that we want innovations for inclusive development. Innovations must be purposefully geared towards inclusive development. IID, as we call it, is understood as innovation that reduces poverty and enables as many groups of people, especially the poor and vulnerable, to participate in decision making, create and actualize opportunities, and share the benefits of development. I know we have friends here who are in this field, right? Maybe the reason why you're already here at this time is because you share this vision. Now, we have two major projects, universities and campuses and innovations for inclusive development in Southeast Asia, which Grace will be presenting in a little while. And maybe the main presentation by Daniel on New Mobility in Metro Manila, which is the project that we're launching today. While the program is 3 years old, actually we have people on board who are really new. I joined only in late October, and Daniel was ahead of me, I think, by 2 or 3 months. Of course, Grace is our mainstay. She's been here for the iBoP first phase, first 3 years, and of course JR over there. I need to introduce them to you so that you see them when they visit your offices, so you will recognize them. But the rest, we have Dika, we have Lilac, of course Jessica's always also been with us for a long time in Ateneo, and Chris over there manning our computer are new. In fact, they are so new. I think they started this week, last week. Okay, so it's a new program, and with new people. But I will just end here, just so you have a sense of what our thinking is and what our early insights is. One of the stories we've had is the story of a Los Baños farmer. Masagana 99. He was helped by IRI to produce, well, as you can see, 100 kilowatts per hectare, right? He was able to do that with the help of IRI. It was an innovation story, very successful. But as soon as he got his harvest, what happened? All of his friends and relatives and members of his community went to see him because his income was so much higher than all the rest. And of course he had to share, and he started sharing, and he did not know how to stop. In fact, when he was already at a loss of losing compared to what he earned before, he still had to give because you cannot just stop. The next year, when IRI came around, the story goes, the farmer said no more aid, no more innovation, no more high yields. And that is just to tell us of how we need to understand the problem that we're dealing with at the base of the pyramid. The burden of understanding is ours. It's not the burden of the base of the pyramid to understand us and adjust to our ways. We thought that was just a story, but Dolph, one of our researchers, commissioned researchers, was telling us that when they went to Purok Centro, I hope this is not one of the stories he's going to tell us when he makes a presentation. Basically, the people were concerned that our team was there to study how mobility can be improved for this informal settler community. And they were concerned about two things. One, that they were being censused so that they will be moved out. Second, that in fact, the project might lead to improvements in the walkways, in the approach to the community, that the informal settlers in Tondo might go to them and grab their place. And so it's almost like the farmer, except that here a community is afraid of progress because it's going to bring them a deluge of informal settlers from elsewhere who are less or lower in the bottom, lower in the base of the pyramid. So that's one insight. The other one is a telecoms story, which tells us now that 97% of Filipinos, as Thailand and other Southeast Asian countries, have access to cell phones at least. So it's almost universal. But they found out that for Filipinos, even if they save 1 hour, it does not mean too much to them. I mean, they don't know what to do with the extra 1 hour that you save when you use cell phones. What do you do with that extra 1 hour if you are unemployed? There's nothing else to do. So maybe that's another thing that we need to look at. We are looking at the cell phone as a way, as a magic bullet in a way, but there are complications that we need to answer there. So the lesson I think is we need to innovate and reinvent intermediaries, I mean including ourselves, including universities. And our insight is that universities are not geared towards the promotion of innovation because we are too divided into multidisciplinary silos, right? And we are not able to fuse ourselves together, and this is why ASOG, Ateneo School of Government, to us is an innovation, if only we can do more of that, so that we are able to deploy ourselves better to promote innovation. So in the end, it's about mind shift. We are not there to improve the base of the pyramid, give them better welfare directly, but we are trying to help come up with a mind shift in government and the private sector and the NGOs. So that's iBoP. Thank you very much.